Welcome back. People need to reassess their retirement risk and tax liability. Greg Ellie from Prosperity Group Advisors is always breaking down stuff with us, talking things you need to know to keep your money safe. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, Jamarcus.
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about some really interesting things that I personally have been thinking about because, you know, everyone needs to have a will. But
right.
I'm like, what age should you have a will? How do you come up with this versus some of the other options out there?
Well, you don't want to die intestate. Intestate means without a will, because that means the court determines where it goes. So we've been doing a lot of workshops, and we're about to introduce a program right now, which is a software. It's going to cost people $1,499 for them to be able to get a trust. And I'm not an attorney, so I need to declare that right away. I'm not giving legal advice. But what happens, we're going to be doing workshops where people can get the software. Then once everything's filled out, things are ready to go, then they speak to the attorney to finalize everything, okay? That's significantly lower than what they would pay for a traditional trust. So I'm actually getting on this program myself because I have a trust. And we were just talking off the air. One of the big mistakes that people make is with trust is it's not funded. What that means, nothing's been titled in the name of the trust. So if you have a document that says, hey, I've got a trust, but your checking account hasn't put in the trust, your home, there's some strategies that you can use on the home so that immediately the home gets transferred over to whoever you want it to go to, either your spouse or one of your children.
So there's some legalities in there that people just simply may not know about, and it ends up costing more money in the end.
That's right.
To be able to do that. So
I've heard people say probate is a attorney's retirement plan.
so some things to definitely take into consideration, and these workshops are great places to be able to do that. So if you're sitting at home and you're like, I'm not old enough to have a will, you need to definitely be thinking about that and looking into the trust as well, if that's the option that you want to go with.
You know, I run into so many retirees. They have a lot of money. And they think, oh, I don't need a trust, I just need a will. So the way I give it, and this is a layman's term, a will is asking the court for permission. A trust is giving the court instructions.
Okay.
I'd much rather give instructions than ask for permission.
Yeah, because there's room for interpretation with, like, you know, with the first one. So
yeah, and it could last 18 months, 2 years. I've seen cases with families. I mean, these are people that come to see us, and we help move their money. But then they're tied up in probate for years. I saw one family tied up for 7 years because this property had a drive-through where 385 was going to go down and right through their property. So nobody could agree on what to do with the property.
Wow.
So they went around them and they didn't get anything. And all that arguing didn't, serve anybody.
Yeah. For folks who don't want to get into that, any other workshops that are coming up in our last 40 seconds?
Yeah. We've got workshops that we talk on financial. Right now, one of the things we need to do is what's called the in-service rollover. I'm shocked the number of people that aren't taking advantage of taking their 401k at 59 and a half, sometimes 55, and then putting into a self-directed IRA. And some of these accounts, we can add 25 to 40% into their retirement account immediately. And some of them will get a guaranteed 10 to 12% roll-up, which I can explain what roll-up means when they come and meet with us.
Awesome. The workshops, they're listed on your website, mymoneyissafe.com, to see when those are happening so they can get registered to come to those.
They will. We'll also put it on the radio, and I'm going to be on 105.5 The Roar for all of the Clemson Tigers fans.
Multi-talented, what can't he do? mymoneyissafe.com is the website to go check out Prosperity Group Advisors. Thanks, Greg. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it.